Welcome to the Fire and Earth podcast with your hosts, Jason Mefford and Kathy Groover. Fire and Earth, giving you the keys to unlock your limitless potential.
Welcome to another episode of the Fire and Earth podcast. I'm your co-host, Jason Mefford.
And I'm Kathy Groover, and we are so excited to have another amazing, fabulous guest on the show today. I would love to introduce you to Carla Cherry. Woo!
Hey, Carla!
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what's happening in your world right now?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me, both of you. I'm really honored to be here. I call myself a marketing strategist and a virtual agency. And what that means is people pull me in one-on-one, and I look at their business and I help them figure out, where the things that are not working, what their goals and visions, what their goals are, what their visions are, and where the roadblocks are. And we deal with things like, are you talking to your target client correctly? Are you packaging yourself correctly? How are you selling? Are you selling virtually? If you're not, let's get you there. And that's what I do. And I'm offering people right now a chance to, fix their business, pivot their business, figure out what to sell, as well as helping them set up a sales funnel for that. So it's a misconception right now that you can't make money, even in this crazy climate that we're in. And I'm here to, prove that.
Yeah. Well, because I think that's important that you bring that up, that it's a misconception, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, the economy is just so bad, or, everybody's so scared they're not doing anything. I have friends that are still having multi-million-dollar launches in the middle of this. So it's like, it's a misconception. It's just, we've got to kind of change what we're doing and how we're kind of going about it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it takes a little bit of courage. It takes a bit of courage. Everybody's sort of been in their comfort zone. We've all been shaken out of our comfort zone in many ways right now. And you gotta roll with it. And that's part of being an entrepreneur. Yeah. You've got to just roll with it.
Yeah, but also this is such a huge opportunity. And I know in my practice specifically, still so much of my work was massage. And I've been telling people for ages, I want to step away from the massage and I want to do more coaching and I want to do more hypnosis. But when you're booked solid with massage clients, how do you turn down guaranteed paid work in hopes that someone fills that slot with hypnosis? And I've had a couple people go, well, why don't you just take every Tuesday off? Okay, but what if the hypnosis person can't do Tuesday? What if they want to do Thursday? And this, of course, I can't be doing massage during this time. So it gave me this beautiful opportunity to go, I better get some coaching and hypnosis clients. And just putting that out there. I've had people that heard my talks 3 and 4 years ago out of the blue contact me and go, you know what? I need help right now. And I immediately thought of you. You're the one to help me. And I'm like, okay. So it's taking the opportunity in these times. And it's also having some balls to do it.
Yeah.
So how do you grow those balls?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. For what I tell clients is really, you have to take out all the things that you do, and if you're going to focus on hypnosis, then put it on paper, digital paper, regular paper, and look at all the things that you do and all the value that you add. And then the next step for me is about messaging. So it's how you pitch yourself and how you present yourself in the messaging on your website. Yeah. Because it's true that the world will, take you at your word. How you present yourself is how people are going to take you. So if you learn how to speak confidently about what you do and put that into the words, whether it's pitch or written messaging, then the world will say, okay, that's what you do. That's who you are.
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that, because when people now say, what do you do? I've stopped mentioning massage.
Awesome.
I don't say, I say I'm a coach, I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm a international speaker and an author. That's what I tell people now.
And they believe you, because that's what you said you do.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because, because Kathy and I are both speakers and I've done training for a long time. I started pivoting several years ago to online because I knew this was the future and I wanted to quit traveling. Right.
Yeah.
And, Kathy has been saying, 40 weeks on the road is like too much. I didn't want a second divorce. So it's
that's a dream come true for me.
Yeah. So, but it was
the divorce, yeah.
yeah. Okay. We talked about this different episodes. All right.
Yeah.
But so both of us, I guess, kind of, we're already planning or already had thought about this, but I know a lot of our friends that are traditional speakers or people that I know that are traditional in-person seminar trainer kind of people. This really hit them, smacked them upside the head. And, you talked about putting it down on paper, I guess. What are some suggestions you have for people that maybe are still in that holy shit, I can't believe this is happening phase, of, well, how do you start putting something down on paper now that maybe is totally different than what you'd been envisioning, what you'd been trying to manifest, and now you've got to pivot. And a lot of people are holding on to that, like, no, I got to do this. What are some ways that you can help your clients get through some of that? Because I'm sure there's still people out there struggling.
Absolutely. So first of all, just get courage, right? Like, do you want to make money or do you not want to make money? Ask yourself that. I mean, that is a big motivator for a lot of people. Like, do you want to sit back and just collect unemployment checks, or do you want to go forward and also get ahead of the curve? Because everybody eventually is going to be virtual. So if you don't do it now, people are going to beat you to it, right? So that's one. So just think of that as motivation. And secondly, in pivoting, what I tell my clients is, what problem are you solving? Right? So you stay within your field, stay within, the same theme, but think about what new problems are here for your clients. So ask them is the second thing. Right? Reach out to your clients, reach out to your past clients, reach out to your favorite current clients and say, hey, what are you doing right now? What do you need right now? Right? So I'll give you some examples. So I have a client that owns an acting studio, right? And so she goes, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? All my clients are 19, 18 years old. And a lot of them have gone back home to mama, right? They're not auditioning as much. And so the previous problem was, I need to figure out how to audition better so that I can land more roles. Well, they've all gone home and everything's on pause. All production's on pause. So then we look at, okay, well then what other clients do you have? Okay, I have younger clients. So now we're going to focus on the younger clients, because the new problem is actually with the parents. The parents are going crazy. They're trying to do the school as well as be the babysitter, as well as do their job from home. They need a break. So what you do is you create a product within the same realm, which is still an acting class, but make it fun and make it for the younger clients, make it for the younger kids. Right. And so when we started doing that, her friends started asking, what's her number? What's her number? When I told people that she was doing it, just my friends, they said, what's her number? I need her number, like right now, because that is the immediate new problem. So it's still acting class, but it's for the new need. So you have to look within your realm. Like, what is the new need? I'll give you a second example. I have a client that is an expert stylist. So nobody's going out. They don't need to buy the ball gown. What do? Everyone, and within COVID, what are they doing? They're at home organizing their closet. So you change the product to, how do I organize my closet? Number one. Number two is, everybody's pulling out their old jewelry and dusting off old shoes and looking at all the stuff in there. Okay, so how do you pair jewelry with the outfits that you have? Like we created products out of the thin air. Same clients, new problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting, like the one you said about the acting studio, right, is that, they're still providing the same service of helping to train actors, but there's a new need from the parents. I mean, it's almost like, daycare, if you will, for the kids, or a break for the parents.
Right.
And I'm sure parents are much more, I mean, not that they weren't already. I mean, if you've got a kid that you're trying to get into acting, the parents are pretty motivated already. Sure. But now it's like, holy shit, I'm going crazy. You'll take my kid for 2 hours a day. Yeah, I'm going to pay you. Right.
Absolutely. And the courageous part is, for a second, she may have had the thought, like, I'm not a babysitter. I'm a serious person training serious actors. Well, that's the part you have to get over. There's that little bit of ego, right? A little bit of ego that says, but this is not who I am. It's like, okay, well, you're actually providing a service. So whenever you're solving a problem for a client, whenever you're hitting that need and you're solving the problem, that's when people are going to pay you. And they're going to remember you through this time. They're going to go,
Right.
wow, she really came in and she really helped me with this particular problem. I'm now with my old, I mean, that same parent has friends with older kids. They may have older kids themselves. They're going to think of you in the future.
Well, and sales is about building relationships. And that's one of the things that drives me crazy about LinkedIn is someone will say, hey, love to connect with you. I look at what they do. I go, yeah, okay. I say yes. And then I get a 30-paragraph, clearly pre-written pitch as to why I should buy their real estate program. And I'm like, do you know what I do?
Right.
My uncle who, classic, I mean, just like classic salesman. He's been in sales his entire life. He's now in his 70s. He told me the most brilliant thing. If they like you, they'll see you. If they trust you, they'll buy from you. And so this woman who pivoted from teaching, teen and adult actresses to audition better, they're now working with these kids. Well, these kids are going to keep growing up. And I know that I was an actor for years. I know the acting bug. If you start when you're 8 and you enjoy it, she's going to have clients for life. So she's building that relationship. She's building that trust. And I think we so often forget that. We dive into a relationship. It's like meeting someone on the first date and planning the wedding. A little too premature, court them a little bit first. So, I think there's that disconnect, especially now with social media of, oh, I'm connected with them. They're my best friend. Let's go do something. And it's like, whoa, back up a second. It's a slow build.
Exactly.
Well, and I was going to say, because I think, Kathy, what you were kind of bringing up there too, that I wanted to ask Carla about is, I think a lot of times I'll just talk for myself, and I'm guessing there's other people like me out there too, right? So a lot of times you think of marketing kind of in a short-term basis, right? We market to try to drive sales in the short term. But, like Kathy was saying, a lot of our businesses, it's long term, right? I mean, some of these people, that I do business with, I've known for 8, 10, 15 years, maybe before they actually do business with me, or they get promoted up and move to other organizations. And then they're like, hey, Jason, I want to work with you now, right? Because they can. So I guess, that short term versus the long term thing. Because again, usually people are like, hey, if I'm going to drop 10 grand on marketing, I need to see some sort of a return, right? I mean, how do you kind of temper that short term with the long term nature? Because you can do some really stupid things in the short term that just burn you, I'm guessing, marketing wise, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So short term, long term. I mean, I think for me, when, it's more, is it a smaller digital product that you're selling? Or is it a higher ticket sales item? If it's a higher ticket sales item, you got to get on the phone with them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's about nurturing the relationship, but it's also about showing social proof. So, two things. If you're going to try and sell a higher ticket item, one, you got to do the consultation call. And I have a whole thing that I, move my clients through for sales calls. Right. So there's a whole process, when people just try to think that, hey, we're going to go to have coffee and somehow we're going to magically have a sale after, that just doesn't happen. Like, you have to actually, I tell my clients, lead the call, whether it's on Zoom or on the phone or in person, before and after this mess that we're in. You have to lead it and you have to build trust, but you also have to show social proof. So those are the two things with the higher ticket item, is showing that, hey, I get your problem. I see it. I understand it. I've helped other people through it. And here are the people that I've helped through. Right. So I call it, like, we're in sort of like a monkey see, monkey do world. If I see that you've done it for other people, you've fixed the exact problem that I'm having, and all these people say that you've done it and you did it well, then I want to hire you. It doesn't really matter to me, like, how long we've known each other. Can you fix my problem? Right. I think for the smaller ticket items, you could just put that on your website or on your sales funnel, and, people are quicker. It's kind of like the lizard brain. Like, when you buy shoes, you don't buy it. You're not thinking logically when you buy a nice pair of shoes. You're just like, bam, hit the button, So for a sales funnel or a website, it's like, how shiny can you make it? You know what I mean? Yeah. But for the bigger ticket item, you got to get on the phone.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. And talking about someone years ago, they had you do an exercise where and here's the, I hate sales. I can talk about myself all day and how good I am at massage or hypnosis or as a speaker, but I can't sell. Because
Right.
there's that term, like what Jason was saying, it feels icky. But I never thought to text all of my massage clients now who I can't see and say, hey, during this crazy time, can I help you with hypnosis or coaching? Do you know anybody that I can help with hypnosis or coaching? Because I can do that virtually. And if you refer someone to me, I'll give you $10 off your next massage when this craziness happened.
Yes.
I never thought to do that. You go to the people you know first, the people you already have that relationship with. And it's like, until you said that, I never even considered texting all of my massage clients and going, do you know anybody that needs coaching right now?
I know what you're going to be doing the rest of the day.
Clear my calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody would, if I'm looking for a therapist, I'm going to ask my friends who worked. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And when someone says, oh my God, I have this great therapist, like you have to go to her, like she's amazing.
Sure.
Then I don't care where she graduated from. I'm, some people may, I don't really care about her credentials. It's like, did she help you with your problem? You know what I mean? And I talk about with my clients, like going from resume mode to problem solving mode, and also to get really confident about the problems that you solve and the results that you've gotten for people. Like if you can really speak with confidence about that, it's important because, if I go to a mechanic and they're like, I don't know if I can fix your car today, like, I'm not sure, maybe, then I'm going to leave. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with coaches. Like if I go to somebody and they're like, yep, I can do that. Yep, I can help you. Absolutely done. Then I'm going to sign up. So another thing that I help my clients do is really when you take all of what you do and your value and you look at it, it's kind of like when you get your resume redone, you're like, holy crap, I'm great. Like that's always everybody's first impression when they really look at their stuff. It's the same thing with this. Like if you're pivoting, you really got to get it out of your brain and look at it and look at all the stuff that you can do. And then you start putting the pieces together, the puzzle, the messaging, the pitch and all that. And then when you speak it into existence and tell people and have with your texting, you could also send emails and put up a full blurb of like what you can do and include the testimonials in the email. Yep. And then that way they can forward it right to their friends and they don't even have to say anything because people are lazy.
Right. Absolutely. Well, and it's funny that you say that you have to be able to tell them that you're good at it. My freshman year of college of acting, we sat in our first day of acting class and we sat in a big circle and we introduced ourselves and said who we were. And it was terrifying because I was the best actress in my high school. And I suddenly found I was surrounded by every best actress in every high school in the country. It's a little intimidating. And the instructor turned to one of the students and said, are you a good performer? And the girl goes, well, yeah, I think I'm pretty good. She goes, you're not hired. She turns to one of the guys, are you a good performer? And he goes, hell yeah. And she goes, you just got the job.
Right.
And she said, I'm telling you right now, I know you aren't trained the way you think you should be, but if you can't tell someone you're good at what you do, she said, you don't have to be an asshole about it. But if you can't confidently say, yes, I'm a good performer, then you shouldn't be in this class and you're not going to get hired. And that has stuck with me. If I got nothing out of 4 years of college, that stuck with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then be able to write it and pitch it. And, the pitch takes a minute. You have to really find your title. When you find your title, there's such power in words. When you find the title that really fits you and you're really excited about it, psychologically, you step up a level. You step into it. And, I tell clients like, really write the pitch that you want, have the results built in, have a powerful title, have it powerfully written who you help as well. Because you don't want to try to attract the world. When you do that, you look watered down. If I'm going for a burger and I'm a vegan, but I'm vegetarian, but if I'm just using an example. If you go for a McDonald's burger versus like a Ruth Chris's Kitchen or whatever the heck that title is, it's a different burger. You know what I mean? So you have to really say, these are the people that I help. this is the specific person that I help. Otherwise, and then when that person hears you and they're like, oh my God, she knows how to solve my problem and she's speaking directly to me, boom, you landed your niche.
Well, and I think that is one of the areas I think that requires the courage of growing a pair of balls, right? That we were talking about before is, I mean, I've seen it with myself, with other people as well, where it's like, oh, but if I narrow it down and if I'm so specific, then I'm limiting the number of people that I'm marketing to, right? But it's like, that's totally what you want to do, right? And because, you know, I notice even doing like some online ads, I wasn't as narrow in my audience, right? So I wanted to target people in the US, Canada area. My ad budget was gone before those people even woke up because I forgot to exclude some of the other people, right? So I was attracting all these people from halfway around the world instead of where I wanted to go. So the more you niche in, and like you said, the more you niche and the more specific you are, the more you're going to attract that ideal client that everybody talks about. And it's not watered down at that point, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, to say I'm a massage therapist, well, good Lord, what does that mean? When people ask me when I was talking about massage, I do deep tissue trigger point. That's what I do. I don't do fluffy foo-foo. I don't do Swedish. I don't do any of that other stuff. People have called me and said, can I get an hour and a half Swedish? And I go, you can, but not from me. That is not what I do. And I send them something because I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me. I think it's boring. I think it's pointless. Deep tissue trigger point. Come to me with your injury. I'll figure it out and I'll fix it. You know, but I had the confidence to say that over the years of playing with other modalities and realizing I like this one thing, you know, and it's same thing with my speaking. I speak about stress. Well, who's your audience? Yeah. Like anybody with stress, but that's everybody and that's too broad. So I've had to narrow that down and it's hard. It is. It's really hard to so do you have an exercise? Do you have something you walk people through? How do you get that ideal client? How do you narrow that down for people?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing I tell people is think about who is your favorite client right now. And then write all the things about them down on paper, right? So I'll give you an example. I had a potential client that came to me and said, you know, we're doing all the things, you know, we're paying for the ads, we're taking the pictures, we're making the video, we've redone the website, but we're just not getting people. We're not getting enough leads. And that's usually the number one problem that all my clients have. They need more clients. And so I said, okay, well, you know, who's your target client? And they couldn't speak to it. So then I said, okay, who's your favorite client? And they were like, oh, the Tom and Mary Ann's. And I was like, tell me more about them. Okay, so they are the client that is trying to sell their house and move to Florida. Totally different client than the newlywed that just arrived in LA. Like, couldn't be more opposite of a person, right? So, you know, if you're trying to speak to all people who are interested in buying a house, you know, the Tom and Mary Ann's are not going to hear you as loud. You're not going to jump out to them, right? Yeah. So, you know, I told them what you want to do is you want to really niche down on that. You want to talk about like, you know, is it time to get out of LA? Like, you know, talk about how great Florida is. Talk about like, here are the best things that you want to do, you know, in your messaging of like wrapping up your life here and like how to get out fast or whatever your, you know, main points are that sets you apart from other people, from other realtors. Then you're going to be the go-to person for that person that's just, you know, Googling up, searching up, you know, selling your house before you leave. They're going to be like, oh my God, you get me. You 100% get me. And that's the click.
Well, I'm guessing too, then, you know, like in that example, it's going to help you know where to go to find those people as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So again, like you said, whether you're blogging or doing something, you know, it's like, you know, LA, the weather's great, but if you're tired of the rat race and you're ready to go to Miami, I'm your person, right?
Exactly.
And so all your messaging, and then again, you're going to find people who are probably middle-aged, you know, again, maybe came to everybody comes to LA with dreams, right? And they came to LA with their dreams, and unfortunately most of the people's dreams get crushed, right? So they're ready to go back home at that point. And so again, you're going to be targeting maybe, again, people in the music or entertainment business that came here, they've been grinding it out for 10 or 15 years and have finally decided, screw it, I'm done. It's time to go back home and just do something else, right?
Yeah.
Then you can start answering those questions like, oh, where would those people hang out? Oh, where would those people, then I'm guessing you can help them kind of really narrow that funnel or figure out where to go to attract those people.
Yeah, and it goes all across your messaging. It's in your website, but it's also, if you're making content, if you're making videos, you're going to be talking about this stuff, right? You're going to be talking about it. And then you can also advertise, like SEO wise, you can advertise, put your videos up that have these things in the titles, have these keywords. So you're going to be more searchable as well. So, but the main thing is like, this was a man and a woman team. They were partners, business partners, and they were fun and they were funny, and they had, they really wanted to be themselves. They didn't want to put the suit on. They wanted to have the crazy t-shirt and the hat. And I said, celebrate that. Be yourself. Be 100% be yourself, because you're going to attract the people that are attracted to you, but you have to have the right messaging.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting. We're taught that we have to look a certain way and do a certain thing. And after I finished my PhD, I went and changed my headshots to suit and indoor shots. And I'm a PhD now. And I look at the great pictures. They're fabulous pictures. And then I realized that's not who I am. Like, I can still do talks in corporations and have the red streaks in my hair and have an outdoor photo shoot and be fun and funny. And that's who I can't cover that up. And when Jason and I did our values exercise, authenticity was one of our values, or something like that. And it's like, why am I going to try to put on this suit and be Dr. Kathy Groover when I would rather be screwing around and doing improv and trapeze and Dungeons and Dragons? It's like, that's who I am.
And you're going to attract people that are attracted to you for that reason. Right. Exactly. I saw the pictures of you on trapeze. I was like, oh, she's awesome. And you have great abs. And now I'm
thank you.
To get back on that.
Yeah, not right now with the COVID-19. Yeah, I got that.
I'm telling you, I tell everybody I got COVID-19 in pounds.
It's like the freshman 15, but it's the COVID-19. Yeah. And of course, Jason, guess what?
We're probably
run
getting
out of
close
time.
to time.
Yeah, running out of time. I know. I'm learning so much. I so need to hear this today. I mean, like, I seriously do. I'm just about to start a LinkedIn campaign. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. I mean, all the things that I've been doing sort of naturally with the massage thing, I do need to translate that into every aspect of my life. So, and everyone else that's listening too during this time is like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Yay, Carla's here. Good.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Well, no, it's great. And again, it's, we learn as well as other people learn too. It's like for me, a lot of going through this is just having the courage and actually doing what we know we need to do. Because I think sometimes it's, when I look at my business, there's some things that have been, going on in the back of my head there for a little while about, some polarization or other things that I need to do, because that's going to attract more of the people that I really should be working with, but it limits the number. And then our limiting or lack side goes, oh, if I'm marketing to 10,000 people and now it's like 1,000, oh no, I've lost 9,000 potential sales. Right. No, we haven't. We just got to have the courage and change our belief about that. Because again, all your clients, I'm guessing, when they niche down, when they have the courage to do these things, they actually make a lot more money, and they probably don't even have to work as much, right?
You make a lot more money, and you also save time, because there's the problem if you're reaching out to too many people, you get unqualified leads, and then you're on the phone for an hour with a complete unqualified lead, and you're wasting time, and you're taking away from the time that you could to actually serve the people that want your help. So that's how I tell my clients to think about it. Is think about it as a time-saving thing. If you get more qualified leads, you're saving time.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. And that's a great place to end. Yeah. Oh, Carla, thank you so much. This has been so great. I know, geez, I don't know. Jason's a note taker, but I actually have like pages of notes from this. So awesome. Thank you for that. Yay. All right. Thanks, so tell everybody, oh my gosh, of course, tell everybody where they can find you, your website, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So it's cherryproductions.co, and Cherry spelled just like the fruit, productions is plural.co. And I do a free consultation. So if anybody's interested and they want to reach out, I'll do a free consultation with them, see if we're a good fit, see what they want to do in their business. And I can help people pivot. And I also I'm a virtual agency. So if you need to do a complete sales funnel page where you're selling a pivot product and you don't want to redo your whole website and that sounds terrible and you just want to do the sales page, that's part of my package. So feel free to reach out to me. My phone number is 323-923-8435. And my email is cherryproductionsnc, like North Carolina, @gmail.com. I've never gotten rid of my old email.
That's perfect. Consistency in marketing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Carla, I'm so happy you're here. Jason, any final thoughts?
No, well, I kind of gave it, like I said, at least for me, the big takeaway too is just, having that courage and the whole idea of qualified leads. I think so much of the time we just focus on wanting more leads when really what we need is qualified leads.
Yeah.
So we're not wasting our time and not wasting our money, as well. So,
yeah. Beautiful. Excellent. This has been another phenomenal episode. I love this. I'm Kathy Groover. I can be reached at kathygroover.com. And
I'm Jason Mefford. I can be reached at jasonmefford.com. So go out, figure out what you're getting stuck in your marketing, hook up with Carla and see what you can do, and go out, make it a great week. And we'll catch you next week on a future Fire and Earth podcast. See ya.
See ya.